Everything you need to know about being a CNA in 2021 is right here. So all those your questions that you want answered, like what are your duties? What are your responsibilities? What's a day in a CNA life like? Again, it depends where you work, either in a nursing home, a long-term care facility, or in the hospital. You're in the right place, and I've got answers for you. For those of you coming in, you make sure to also do a walk around. Make sure that the patient you're handed is according to the report you got. You don't want a situation that, we didn't do, they just said everything was okay. Just like nurses, you go there and it's like, oops, patient is dead. Okay, patient expired. Or patient had a fall. And those things happen sometimes in that changeover period, However, you just make sure you're covering your butt. You're going to hear this a lot. You got to make sure you do that. Now, for those leaving, make sure you chart. I talked about charting. You got document. I always tell you guys that. You got to document, okay? So, again, if I'm looking away, it's... I'm trying to see my bullet points so I can get everything together. So another thing you need to know for the second shift, which is 3 to 11, is the evening shift, is actually one of the toughest shifts to staff. It is. I don't like it personally because I think it takes from my day and it takes from my night and you have no life. But then I admire people who do it. You have a lot of people who have young kids do it, and then so they kind of have an overlap with their spouses. You have students sometimes do it also, but again, it's people prefer it because there is such a change from the energy in the daytime, 7 to 3 and 3 to 11, because things are winding down. However, 3 to 11 is also when you have to deal with families, okay? Families are going to be there, good or bad. You just make sure when you have families around, you have to be very aware of HIPAA. Don't be discussing anyone's business at the nursing station. Okay, so 3 to 11 is also the one that's going to put the patient to bed. Yes, because again, usually after they've had their dinner and later on in the evening after watching TV and having families and families have left, then some that have snacks are giving snacks, and then you get them ready to put them in bed. Again, you're going to toilet them. Those that need showers to be done, you do their showers. Those that request for bed bath, you go ahead and do that. It's not up to you. You need to understand this. Now, they do have a schedule for showers and what have you. But if your patient, for whatever reason, wants to have a shower or they want to have a bed bath, they have rights. Just like you have right to have a shower or a bed bath whenever you want to. It's the same thing with them. Is it tough to do? Of course it is, because you might have upward of 30 patients and you're running against time to get all your duties done. However, you got to find a way to be able to please your patient, to please your resident. If you're not able to do what they ask, there's nothing wrong in saying, you know what, Miss Sheila, I wish I could really do your shower today. It's not your shower day, and I get that. I really want to do this, but I also don't want to rush it. See, it's all about delivery. It's all about attitude. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll be sure to get you. Will that work for you? It's how you deliver it. Make sure you also let your nurse know, just so the patient doesn't kind of, I don't know, because some patients will say, okay, and they still go to report you to your nurse. Just tell the nurse, Miss Sheila actually wanted, and I've had aides do this. She actually wanted me to give her a shower today, but I wasn't able to because I had so much to do, but I promised that I'll be able to do it tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, fine. As long as you make sure you're doing that, document. Don't do anything that no one knows or I've heard about. You got to cover your butt. You're going to hear that a lot. So, and then you have the 11 to 7. And 11 to 7, and I know people would argue this, that 11 to 7 really don't do a lot. Well, that's a lie. They do a lot. A whole lot. It might not be that there are feeding patients or toilets in them. Actually, you have patients or residents that need that 24-hour skilled care. Okay, so the lights might not be as much going off, but they still have to toilet. They still have to make their rounds. They have to, there's so many duties you could do, depends on your facility. They're cleaning out the fridge. They're cleaning out, the recreation room. They're cleaning out the medicine room sometimes. They're the ones who wash, they will wash the wheelchairs, so there's a lot of cleaning that goes on at night. They also would arrange different places, different rooms, and or sweep or something. They do a lot of house cleaning type things, so they're not sleeping, although there are times when, again, you can. But my thing is, you should not be sleeping at the job. Okay, so that's what happens. And then guess what? Depends on the facility you work, you are the one who gets the patient up. So in some facilities, the night shift, 3 to 11, not 3 to 11, 11 to 7 shift, get the patient up. And in some places, is the 7 to 3. So it depends on the facility you work at. However, nursing, and when I say nursing, by now you all know, I mean the nursing department, which comprises certified nursing assistants, restorative, yes, you have those restorative CNAs. You also have shower aides. That's all part of the nursing department. So that's a day. Okay, everything you need to know. What else do you need to know? Something I didn't mention, and I'm going to mention it here. Now, when you become a certified nursing assistant, you are required, now there are some requirements that you, again, you're responsible for. To be in the nurse aid registry, you should work, I believe, is 8 hours in a 24-month period. Okay, to be in that nurse aid registry. Now, what are the things that are going to take you off the nurse aid registry? Surely, look, if you have been abusing your resident, if you have committed financial abuse, meaning you stole money, okay, that's something you need to understand as a CNA. You need to be professional all the time. You need to know the patient or the resident is not your friend. Let me rephrase this in a way that you understand it. You being professional doesn't mean you have to be besties with your patient. Do not have those lines blurred. And I see this happen to nursing assistants all the time, where they get in trouble. When you take money from your resident, and there are some residents who, again, their cognition has been compromised. They don't remember giving you money. First of all, you shouldn't be taking money from them anyway, okay? And then they're going to accuse you of stealing. And this has been known to happen many times, even with experienced aides. They are not your friends, neither are they your family members. So don't be swapping stories. Okay, don't be telling them about your boyfriend, your husband, and your children. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a fine line. You need to know when too much is too much. Okay, if you are in a situation where you and your resident or your patients are talking about sexual things, inappropriate things, then quite all right, you've crossed the line. That's going to get you in trouble. Those are things that will get you off the nurse aid registry. Financial abuse, physical abuse, not being professional. You need to be professional at all times. And being professional is not just your dressing, which, by the way, please dress right. Okay, but it's also your attitude. It's how you carry out your duties. It's how you do your job. Now, again, you're going to be tested. Oh my God, are you kidding? I tell my students this. In the classroom, you have just the one patient, and that's what you're going to be tested on. In the real world, it is totally different. I have actually done a video, and I might link it down below or somewhere in the in the top, where I talked about work in the work world and the book world. It's night and day. So if you want me to talk more about that, I will. But one thing I know my students always ask me is, I don't know what I'm going to do. What if I'm not trained about something? Okay, if you have not been trained, do not do it. If you have not been trained, do not do it. Say, for instance, you are going to be using one of those mechanical lifts. Okay, and what are mechanical lifts? They are mechanized or automated. I was going to use the word contraptions, but they are. That's what they are. They are used to help patients to transfer from the bed to the chair, from the chair to the wheelchair, and things like that. So they're automated, especially for heavy patients or patients that cannot bear weight. Okay, so in that situation, people have been known to die. You can either hurt yourself or you hurt the patient or kill them. So a lot of times when it comes to, they're popularly known as Hoyer lifts. So you would have heard that. If you haven't heard of it, read about it, okay? But I can tell you right now, don't worry your head about it. If you're just a CNA student, you will be trained to use it in a nursing home or in the hospital, or even if it's a home health situation, you will be taught on how to use it. If you've not been taught, do not use it. Please. Do not use it. And usually it should be you and somebody else. I've seen aides use it by themselves. Please don't do that, because I can tell you right now, if you do get in trouble, you are on your own. Okay, your facility is not going to back you. You need to know your scope of practice. Okay, everything you need to know about CNA, I'm telling you right now, you need to know your scope of practice. Nurses will have you do things that are not in. I'm actually probably going to do another video about scope of practice, because again, these are some of the questions that I get. And if I haven't done it, please remind me, because between work and doing the video and just, sometimes I promise things and I forget. Not that I don't care. But I should do scope of practice. Keep within your scope of practice. I have horror stories to tell, not about me, but about other people, and I keep telling them. I've had students ask me, but if your nurse asks you to do things, if you don't do it, won't you get in trouble? Well, if it's not within your scope of practice, no, you will not. I would like to see that nurse who's going to put you in trouble by telling you to do a treatment on someone's buttock or sacrum because she delegated it. For one thing, you as a nurse, delegate work that the aide can do, and you know that it can do it because you're still responsible. Again, I've been asked questions. I coach nurses too. So these are things I'm going to talk about, and hopefully, you know what? Let me go ahead and just type it here so I can remember. Okay. So what else do you need to know about CNAs in 2021? You are in demand. You are in high demand. So many job openings. You are it's like a buffet table. You can decide to work in a doctor's office, in the hospital, and even in the hospital, the different floors they are going to overwork you for one. In the nursing home, are you kidding? There are no nursing aides. So you have a buffet table of places to work. You can pick your own hours. You can work as little and as much as you want. You can be really flexible. That's the wonderful thing about being a CNA. Okay, you can work anywhere you want to work. I have people saying, I'm in school. One thing you need to know, a lot of nursing aides actually are in nursing school, okay, or they are planning to do that. So it's so flexible that you can work in pretty much anywhere where you're needed, and you're needed everywhere. You're needed everywhere. In the doctor's office, you are like gold. In the nursing home, are you kidding? You're diamond. They're throwing money and bonuses at you just so you can work. Okay. And I know I've talked about this, and because I've seen some videos where robots might actually start doing CNA work. Why? Because there are not enough aides. It's like a revolving door. Now, there are many reasons why it's that way. For one thing, I keep saying this, it's a tough job, but you're tougher. There's a reason. If you're coming into healthcare, it's actually your way into healthcare. So I have people coming to my class and they're like, I'm just taking this because I'm not really sure if it's something I want to do. So I just want to, I'm just feeling it. I don't know if I can stand some of the things, but I'm just going to try test my feet in the water. So it's a good doorway into healthcare. Okay. And then when you get in there, you're not stuck into a nursing home. You don't have to be in a nursing home. You don't have to work in a hospital. Like I said, you can do home health. You can work in an adult daycare service. Again, you can be a travel aide. It's exciting. So if you love to travel, these are things that you can do. Good thing, it also helps you. I think it does. A lot of people argue this. When I say argue, because I've been in a work where people are like, it's better to be an aide before you go into nursing. Not necessarily, because a good person is a good person, a kind person is a kind person, and a person who does their job does their job, okay? But it also gives you a better understanding, grip of what goes on in healthcare. So if you are a CNA, you also can appreciate some of the things they talk about in school, and then when you go for your clinical rotations, you're not intimidated because you've gotten your feet wet. You know what to do. So that's the thing. It's very flexible. I also believe it builds character. It helps you to be sensitive, compassionate. You also do not take anything for granted. Why? Let me take me, and I'm going to use me. Again, I've seen patients from when they couldn't do anything to the point where they're healed and they're actually discharged. It humbles me. So I don't take anything, and I don't take life, and I don't take people for granted. And I think there are people like that for me. When you're having to transfer someone, when you're having to actually toilet someone and actually help them wipe themselves, or actually wipe them. I remember it was actually Kevin. Who's the comic? Kevin Hart. And he said he had an accident. There was an accident he was in not too long ago. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. And he said it was so bad he couldn't wipe himself. And he said he started to cry. And he said the aide who took care of him was like, oh, don't worry, it's fine. It's you. It humbles you. It makes you appreciate what you have. Does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So let me see, what else haven't I covered? I think I've pretty much covered. If there are questions you want to ask me directly, go ahead and ask me, okay? But that's all you need to know about being a CNA. I've gone through the shifts. I've gone through how you should stay in the nurse registry, not the nurse registry, the nurse aid registry. I've told you the requirements you need. You have to go through, be certified, go through a nursing. I keep saying nursing. Oh my God, nurse aid school. Get tested, especially if you're going to work in the nursing home, the long-term care facility. Okay. If you have any questions, you have direct questions, go ahead and ask me. That's what I'm there for. Some people write to me directly at nurseamyacademy@gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram, Nurse Amy Academy. And of course, please, if you've gotten value from listening to me today, if I've kind of giving you some kind of clarity for those of you who are probably not sure of what their duties should be. And if there's more questions you want to ask or more clarity that's needed, please go ahead and do so. Leave your comment. Make sure, again, please hit the like button. That is encouraging also to me, because I can tell you it's not easy to do this, but I love to play it forward, put good out there and good comes back. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. You will always be the first to know about my video. So you take care and be safe out there.